Everyday life's happening. Some days are more eventful. Others, living protected with insurance you can depend on changes your life for the better. We insure the people and things you care about. Not Agency. We'll help you find the right coverage so when life happens, you have the right insurance protection for your family and business. When life happens, live protected. Agency for all your insurance needs.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Tuesday, March the 29th. Sitting right next to me, I've got DIANA MOXON. Good to have you here, DIANA MOXON.
Lovely to be back, Paul.
Columbia Art League. And she is here today to talk about summer camp.
Summer art camp for children.
Yeah, so when is that?
Now, like we said last time, it's not like they go and live in tents. When I say camp, it just means they go to a place and they do art. It's not like they go to a place where there are tents.
Did I think there were places?
You did think that last time. So I'm glad that I have disabused you of
All
that
right,
fact.
so this is summer camp.
Summer camp.
That the kids come in the morning and they go home in the afternoon
Exactly.
or the evening.
They do.
And they're not camping out.
They're not. It's
Okay,
9,
where are they coming,
9
by the
till
way?
3. They come. It's the Columbia Art League's camp, but we actually do it at the Methodist Church just across the road on 9th Street from the Columbia Art League. They have a beautiful big community room that they let us use for summer camp
So
programs.
what's going to go on at summer camp?
Well, we have lots of very fun things, depending on how old you are. So we have 5 weeks of classes for 5 to 8-year-olds. We have 4 weeks of classes for 9 to 12-year-olds. And we have 3 weeks of classes for 13 and up, so 13 to 16 mainly.
And
they
what goes
alternate.
on? What goes on at the classes?
Well, what would you like to learn? There's painting and sculpting and drawing. They've all got a slightly different theme each week. So, for example, for the young children, the first week of summer camp, which is June the 13th, is called Cosmic Art. And so it's about art adventure in outer space and envisioning alien life forms and coming up with, your idea of what ET looks like and starscapes and spaceships, so that kind of thing. If we look at for the older children, for the 9 to 12-year-olds, we're doing, which is really popular every year, we have a great teacher called George Szabo, and he's an amazing cartoonist. So we do a cartoon camp every year, and that one is always the first one to sell out because everybody loves George. He's an awesome teacher, and cartooning is endlessly fascinating to people of all ages. But children love doing that. So you create your own cartoons and the language of comics and animation, and sometimes he'll animate the cartoons together for the kids, and so that's fun. And then for the older group, for the 13 and up, again, George is teaching a comic collaboration, so again looking at working as a creative team to work on an original graphic story. We have an oil painting intensive class as well. For a lot of in the public schools, they're not really teaching oil painting. It's an expensive medium, so we can do that. We're going to do a week of intensive oil painting.
Now, is it too early to register now?
No, that's why I'm telling you about it now, because enrollment is open.
Okay, so if somebody wants to enroll now for summer camp in June, now is the time to do it.
June through August.
How do they go about it?
They go to columbiaartleague.org and they click on classes and they click on summer camp, and there's the enrollment form right there, so you can read about all the classes, the dates,
and it talks about how much it costs?
It does talk about that, yes, indeed. So there's a different member for Cal members or for non-members. I think it's $175 if you're a member of the Art League and $195 if you're not, for a week.
But you find out. So go to www.
You don't have to say that any longer. You just type in columbiaartleague.org and it comes up.
You can drop the www.
They drop the W's, Paul.
Okay, I've been putting WW in for everything.
It doesn't hurt, but you don't have to.
Ahead of me there, DIANA MOXON. And can they ring you up if they want more information?
They can ring up Karen. Karen is our education director, so she's the one with all the knowledge, so they should call Karen up. Or just drop into the Art League and we have the forms there to fill out.
All right. DIANA MOXON, thank you. Now, listen close to this next segment that we have, Central Missouri Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, because we're going to talk about sugar. And you have no sugar in your diet at all.
I'm a militant anti-sugar person.
No sugar. Okay. So we have Hannah Turnball. Welcome, Hannah.
Good to be
and
here.
Victoria Samter. It's a pleasure to have both of you here. From Central Missouri Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And we were talking about the food pyramid is gone now.
It is.
It's been gone, what, about a year or so now?
No, it's been a while. It's been 10-ish years.
10
we
years?
now have my plate.
I've been living off the food pyramid. I guess it left the same time you didn't have to do www anymore. But anyway, so now you got my plate.
We do, yes.
And there's some new guidelines out about sugar. And it seems to me like those guidelines are pretty darn stringent. What is it? 4 teaspoons of sugar a day is the maximum amount?
So we have the new dietary guidelines. They came out earlier this year, and it discusses how added sugar now has its own category. So when you think of sugar, it's not just fruits. You have the sugar that's in stuff like granola bars or candy, and we want to limit that to less than 10% per day.
Less than 10%. So is that about 4 teaspoons of sugar a day?
Well, it just depends on how many calories you're taking in. So if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet, that's what they use for my plate. You have about less than 200 calories from sugar, which would be about 25 grams.
Now, how realistic is that?
It's not easy. It's found in a lot of our food products.
Right.
But it's something that we're at least trying to enforce, and we want to talk about moderation in anything we talk about.
Okay.
But it is doable. It's not impossible.
Okay, a lot of people enjoy having dessert. A lot of people like donuts. Now,
Yes.
I would imagine if you eat 1 donut, you're over your limit of sugar for the day. Is that right?
Well, and that just comes back down to moderation in general. So if you want to have that 1 donut a week or...
A week.
Yeah.
You realize some
That's
people...
my rule. I love to enjoy the occasional donut.
Okay. How many servings of fruits and vegetables are we supposed to have? Yeah, is it 4 or 5 servings of 4 or 5
It's
cups?
4 to 5, yep.
4 to 5?
4 to 5 servings. Yep.
4 to 5 servings, and that's considered what? A cup if it's raw?
Or
It
half
just
cup
depends,
cooked.
yes.
What is it again?
Half cup cooked or a cup raw.
A half a cup cooked or a cup raw. Now that's not a lot, so probably many of us might be getting more than our share of fruits and vegetables. Can you get too many fruits and vegetables in a day?
You can't get too many vegetables, that's for sure. When it comes to fruits, I mean, it is still something that should be had in moderation.
Fruit?
Yeah.
But
But
it does have sugar.
fruit does have sugar.
There's
But
a
that's a
difference
good kind
between
of sugar,
natural
right?
sugar and added sugar. Yes, it's different than added sugar, but again, sugar is sugar. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, so you're still going to want to have it in moderation.
Now you're the first one that I've heard say that you could possibly have too many fruit in a
Well,
day.
we were talking about sugar. We would rather you have the fruit than something that's like processed or with added sugar, because fruit has so many more added things like fiber and vitamins, minerals that are going to be more beneficial than a piece of candy.
Right. Okay, so you really can't OD on fruit unless you just...
Well, we're talking about calories in a day. There's so many other food groups you want to make on your plate, so then you probably wouldn't want to use that all up on fruit.
So where does the meat and protein come in here?
So on my plate, there's 4 different slots on the main part, and then there's dairy. So it's broken up into half your plate is fruits and vegetables, and then about a quarter is protein and a quarter grains, and then you'll have dairy on the side.
Okay. If you want more information, you can go online, check it out, put in my plate, and it'll all be
Yes.
there. All right. Ladies, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for
It's a
having
pleasure
us.
having
Thank
you
you.
here. And watch out if you have those donuts. 1 donut a week. That's it. 1 donut a week. Tomorrow, Joan Stack, State Historical Society, will be with us. Have yourself a nice day. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu. Bye-bye.